This organized protest on Wall Street in Lower Manhattan here in New York has grown today to demonstrations nationwide against corporate greed.
I plan on revealing how a social trading method that has been making Occupy Wall Street leaders hundreds of dollars a day works.
Last night, he agreed with me on Occupy Wall Street protesters.
I think people feel separated from their government.
All right, this is Peter Schiff, and I've come down here to Occupy Wall Street to represent the 1%.
The only reason you want to take money away from the federal government is to steal the rest of the money that you didn't steal already.
Look at the Occupy Wall Street movement that you're seeing right there firsthand in New York. It's now spreading around the country. This weekend it's in LA, San Francisco, Pittsburgh.
Revolutionary new cash-generating network. On September 17, 2011, the Occupy Wall Street movement began in New York City's Zuccotti Park. By October 9th, Occupy protests had taken place in over 951 cities across 82 countries and over 600 communities in the United States. The movement commonly used the slogan, "We are the 99%, and organized through websites such as Occupy Together. The phrase, the 99%, is a political slogan used by participants in the Occupy movement. It was originally launched as a Tumblr blog page in late August 2011, referring to the concentration of wealth among the top 1% of income earners compared to the other 99%. The top 1% of income earners nearly tripled after-tax income over the last 30 years, according to a Congressional Budget Office CBO report. Here and now is our chance to take apart and earn independently. My name is Sarah Lockley. I'm a former journalist from MSNBC. I covered the Occupy Wall Street protests from its outset back in 2012. During my tenure, I began exposing the corrupt activity of the 1%. I released the truth about the tycoons making billions upon billions of dollars on the backs of hard-working Americans. My producers subsequently stonewalled my expose and blocked its release to the public. I insisted that as a journalist, it was my duty to provide the free flow of information to our viewers, letting them know the truth behind the struggle of the Occupy Wall Street protests. I naively assumed that it was our journalistic duty to expose the greed and corruption of the Wall Street moguls to the American public. My persistence eventually got me fired from MSNBC. My 8-year employment contract with one of the world's biggest media outlets was terminated on grounds of insubordination. After so many years of dedication and multiple top-rated pieces, I couldn't understand why my boss, who I had a great relationship with, fired me without notice or warning. Later, I learned that the shareholders of MSNBC were well connected with the same tycoons on Wall Street I was about to expose. These people were unethically profiting from the same 99%ers who were protesting against them. However, since 2012, the Occupy Wall Street protests have by and large disappeared. And although some remnants of the cause remain on social media, the movement that once brought close to 1 million desperate working-class Americans to a demonstration in Central Park has become essentially non-existent. So the question remains, how did a grassroots movement that once enjoyed international notoriety simply dissipate into thin air? Now, as an independent documentarian, I was invited by the Occupy Wall Street leaders to help them spread the word about a revolutionary new cash-generating network discovered by the former Occupy leaders, allowing them to legally take money from the 1% and give it back to the 99%. I caught up with Jonah and Anna, two of the original leaders of the 99% protests. Jonah, who asked that we not reveal his last name, worked as a UPS delivery man during the 99% movement. Today, he makes his income doing something you will never believe. All that and more when we return. As we speak, Jonah is making his daily income from the same people he was protesting against, the 1%. And this is where it gets rather bizarre. Jonah has not betrayed his cause or sold out. In fact, quite the opposite. Jonah and several hundred other former Occupy Wall Street protest leaders are making hundreds of dollars a day legally stealing money from the 1%. Anna, another leader of the 99% movement, worked as a yoga teacher during the 2012 Occupy protests. Today, she, like Jonah, is making an average of $743 a day, legally stealing money from the stock market, all at the expense of the 1%. I asked Anna how the leader of an anti-Wall Street working class protest goes from making $100 a day to over $700 a day, working from the comfort of her own home. You were one of the leaders of the Occupy Wall Street movement.
That's right.
How do you go from middle-class yoga teacher to making over $700 a day from Wall Street? Sounds almost like you sold out and completely betrayed your cause.
Well, just the opposite. You see, we've discovered a loophole that allows us to funnel money from Wall Street back into the pockets of the working class.
Working class people like yourself.
Like me, the other leaders, and eventually to the entire working class worldwide.
Why would you say the Occupy Wall Street movement went from worldwide notoriety with millions of followers to almost non-existent?
Well, that's not the case. It's just that after all our efforts protesting and making international headlines, we realized we weren't really making any serious headway at all. The media essentially wrote us off as a bunch of hippies who don't understand basic economics, and our entire movement was scoffed at as a passing trend. After a lot of getting nowhere fast and heartache, we were really considering just calling it quits.
Before she called it quits, something incredible happened. That and more when we return. Jonah received a mysterious email from who he thought was the enemy.
So, it was New Year's Day on 2013. And I received a mysterious email from somebody claiming to be an investment banker on Wall Street. And he told me that he can help me to funnel money from the 1% back into the hands of the 99%.
And what was your reaction?
We thought it was a joke. We had lots of people messing with us, threatening us because they didn't like what we stand for. And they did everything they can to try to derail us and distract us from our mission.
So you thought this was a joke?
That's what we all thought, but this guy kept sending emails, assuring us that he was for real. It didn't appear to me that he had any sort of hidden agenda, so I was like, if he's for real, let's set up a meeting.
And what did he say?
He was up for it, as long as I kept his identity confidential to anyone and I didn't disclose the location of the meeting.
So here you get this email from an unknown Wall Street mogul inviting you to meet him.
That's correct.
So where did you guys set up the meeting?
We agreed to meet at Grand Central Station.
You set up a meeting at Grand Central Station?
Yes, on the third platform.
Oh, this is starting to sound like a spy movie.
It kind of felt like that, to be honest with you. He made me lift up my shirt to check that I wasn't wearing a wire. He made me turn off my cell phone, and he made me give it to him to hold it while we spoke.
Were you afraid? I mean, here you are, you have no idea who this man is, and he's got your cell phone in his hand.
It was a little bit strange, but I understood there's lots of greedy and very powerful individuals that will stop at nothing to protect their money-making secrets from reaching the public.
During the meeting, the investment banker told Jonah how he can access money that was being made on Wall Street by the same tycoons who were becoming rich at the expense of Jonah and almost every other working-class American. Why did this man agree to help you? I mean, here was a guy who didn't know you from a hole in the wall, putting his career and probably his life on line for you. And with all due respect, he didn't even know you.
Well, It wasn't just to help me, it was to help 99% of America. I mean, he obviously sympathised with our cause. But I even asked him, I said, look, as passionate as we are about the cause, surely you don't want to put your own life at risk. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He looked me straight in the eye and he said, Jonah, I've never been so sure of anything in my life.
Not only did he sympathize with the Occupy Wall Street cause, the investment banker Jonah met risked his job and his life to give the power and the money back to the people. After many rounds of screening and a promise to keep his identity 100% anonymous, we caught up with the investment banker who gave Jonah and other Occupy leaders priceless access to Wall Street's most well-kept secret. What motivated you to basically risk your job, risk your life, and the well-being of your family to help the Occupy Wall Street movement siphon money out of the financial tycoons and into the hands of the working class?
Well, it was no secret that the Wall Street elite would look down upon the working class. But until one day, I never realized to what extent they were literally ruining people's lives just to make some fast cash.
That fateful day proved to be a revelation for the maverick investment banker. Take us through the day you realized you had a calling to help the 99%.
Well, I went to a presentation of one of the top hedge funds on Wall Street. During the presentation, they bragged about an energy acquisition that put 2,000 Americans in the auto industry out of a job, all for a measly profit of $300,000. The worst part was these people didn't even need the money they were making. $300,000 of them was pocket change. They even had the nerve to brag about it. It was at this point I had a sort of epiphany. I then realized that the 99%ers were 100% right. They were being robbed of their fair share by a disproportionately powerful class of financial bullies, and I decided to make it my mission to give them what was rightfully theirs, Wall Street's money.
So it's almost like you became the Robin Hood of Wall Street, taking from the haves and giving to the have-nots.
I've been called that before, but I don't like the title. My parents always taught me to do the right thing, no matter how high the odds are stacked against me. I like to think that I did what any man with a sound conscience would do in a similar situation.
And stacked against him they were. After their meeting, the investment banker transferred access of Wall Street's money to Jonah and several other Occupy Wall Street leaders to distribute back to the people. He did this by recruiting an elite team of traders worldwide who were handpicked by the same investment banker you just saw being interviewed. Each recruit specialized in trading either stocks, indices, currencies, or commodities. The crack team of traders would then execute trades and feed them to Jonah, Anna, and the rest of the 99% to copy and profit from. One of the traders that was recruited is Blake Thompson, a former analyst with Goldman Sachs. So you are the guy behind the trades.
Yes, me and several other extremely accomplished traders.
So you're basically the bridge between the 99% and the 1%. You are the one making essentially the same trades that the tycoons on Wall Street are making.
That is correct.
And you will be the one responsible for providing the 99% who join the social trading network with a new salary.
Pretty much, yeah.
That sounds like a lot of pressure.
I like pressure.
You like pressure?
That's how they train us to operate on Wall Street.
Another top trader who's no stranger to pressure on Wall Street is Erica Hines, a former head of the commodities trading desk with JP Morgan. Thank you for meeting with me.
Pleasure is all mine.
I did a little background check on you.
Okay.
Let's see. Top of her class at Wharton. You started off as a secretary at JP Morgan. After graduating, you worked your way up to associate portfolio manager, and eventually you headed one of JP Morgan's currency trading desks. That's quite a resume.
Thanks.
And yet you gave it all up to join this small group of traders whose mission is to help the 99% succeed financially?
Yes.
Why?
You want the short answer or the long answer?
Let's start with the short answer.
I realize that there are some things in life that are more important than career.
And money?
Well, I'm still trading commodities, so money isn't really an issue.
And when she makes money, Jonah, Anna, and the 99% who latched onto the social trading network make money from the trades they are fed by Erica Blake and the other elite group of traders. In fact, as we speak, Jonah and several other ex-protest leaders make over $1,000 a day by legally taking money from the 1% on Wall Street.
How much money would you say you've made so far?
In the hundreds of thousands.
And it's all money from the stock exchange?
That's correct.
And is the money you're siphoning from the stock market legal?
Absolutely, 100%. We've verified this with a group of tax attorneys.
Now the people at home watching are probably wondering, well, that's very nice that you're making all this money from a legal loophole, but they're also part of the 99%. Shouldn't the viewers at home get a piece of the pie and get paid just like you do?
Certainly, and that's the very reason why we've invited you to make this documentary today. We want to get the word out to the people and the money back to them as well.
And getting the money out he is. The investment banker we interview recruited some of the top currency, commodity, and stock traders from around the world, covering every time zone, ensuring that people throughout the globe can enjoy high-yielding returns 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These traders are buying and selling stocks, contracts, and currencies using the same successful techniques the 1% on Wall Street are using to make money. When we come back, we'll go behind the scenes and reveal how the knowledge that until now was only accessible to Wall Street's wealthiest can financially benefit anyone, anywhere in the world, from the stock market easily, legally, and ethically when we expose Wall Street's loopholes. All that and more next.